Hey guys, welcome back and happy Thursday. All right, guys, well, we're back to talk about some really disturbing, interesting news, something that I actually wasn't privy to. And I feel like I know most of the stuff that happens in the Vanderpump Rules world. Well, this was not one of them. Apparently, Vanderpump Rules former cast member Faith Stowers is confirming a lawsuit over being attacked with a knife by Lala Kent. What? Okay, guys, we have all the details and more. But before we jump in, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so it looks like Faith Stowers has exclusively confirmed her plans to launch a lawsuit over Lala Kent's Vanderpump Rules Season 4 knife attack. That was actually axed from the show. Now, of course, they're going to take that out of the show, but where was production? Where was anyone when this happened? If this happened, and now we heard Stassi confirm that this happened, why was Lala Kent allowed to continue filming? Hold on, wait. It continues, and I'm not trying to get anybody fired. But this is a lot. Fans are well aware of all the drama surrounding Faith on and off the show. In 2020, Bravo issued a swift overhaul within the cast in response to Faith revealing the racially insensitive actions that Stassi, Schroeder, and Kristen Doty subjected her to. At the time of the firings, Lala reached out to Faith to apologize for their friendship going sour, and there were reports about Lala apologizing to Faith as a truce, but fans were never made aware of what actually caused their fallout. I thought that they just stopped being friends. I thought Lala got too big and she was just like, you know what? I don't need you anymore. Because if you remember when they started the show together, they were thick as thieves. They were going everywhere together. They were always filming together. Do you remember when Lala took her top off in Lisa Vanderpump's pool? Faith was there. They were running around with James Kennedy. I sincerely thought that, okay, the production was starting to favor Lala a little bit. She was asked to come back to the show. She started growing within the franchise, and she got a little bit too big for her britches. And that's why she axed Faith from her life. That's what I really thought. I did not think this or there was a knife attack. This is absolutely beyond. It's been 2 years since Bravo fired Kristen, Stassi, and two newcomers after wrapping Vanderpump Rules Season 8. At the time, the country was dealing with heightened racial tension over the killing of George Floyd, and many major companies started to make strides towards diversity and inclusion. It was at that time that Faith finally revealed the time that Stassi and Kristen saw a tabloid article about a Black woman wanted for theft that they assumed was her. Stassi and Kristen released lengthy statements in response to the incident. Okay. This is bad. This is really bad. Okay, hold on. Let's get back to it. Now, they released lengthy statements in response to the incident. Lisa Vanderpump also released a statement condemning all forms of racism. In June 2020, Stassi and Kristen were fired alongside Max Boyens and Brett Caprioni, whose old racist tweets had resurfaced the year before. In an exclusive statement, Faith confirms that Lala tried to attack her with a knife and that production worked behind the scenes to keep the public from finding out. Lala was among the remaining cast members following the 4 firings and Jax Taylor and Brittany Cartwright's, exits later that year. And she returned for Vanderpump Rules Season 9 with her now ex-fiance, Randall Emmett, to highlight their life after welcoming their daughter, Ocean. But it turns out that, Stassi and Kristen weren't the only ones who subjected Faith to mistreatment that never aired on the show. Mind-blowing. In an exclusive statement to Screen Rant, and this is where the article is coming from, so guys, go check it out on Screen Rant, Faith confirms that she's in the beginning stages of legal action in response to a past altercation with Lala that didn't make the final cut. A friend of Faith provided a full statement to Screen Rant saying Lala Kent pulled a knife on Faith while saying the words, "I'll cut a bitch," in the middle of a heated argument in Sir Restaurant during filming of Season 4 of Vanderpump Rules. At the time of the attack, the production company Evolution and Lisa Vanderpump discouraged Faith from taking any necessary legal action. The statement continued. NBC Universal and the Bravo network did not allow the scene to air in hopes of bearing the consequences, Faith's friend added. The statement went on to note that Stassi's past interview on the Bitch Bible podcast, where she laughed while confirming the Vanderpump Rules Season 4 knife attack. Because, Lala pulled the knife out on her on camera this season, except they didn't air that. Stassi said in a clip of the since deleted podcast that was captured by Twitter during public interviews. Okay. At the time of the knife attack, Faith was serving in the United States Army and was worried about her honorable service enduring such an event. Faith's friend added she felt bullied and manipulated by the network, and now she's seeking justice. Faith appears to finally be speaking out on all of the racially insensitive mean girl behavior she was subjected to by her cast members that were allowed to thrive on the show until they weren't. However, Lala is still a central figure on Vanderpump Rules. She became the show's new villain on season 9 due to all of the confrontation she had with most of the cast. But to know there was a knife attack that was swept under the rug years ago is a shocker and a possible reflection of the controversial personalities the network was seemingly working to protect behind the scenes. Now, it looks like Lala Kent's team was contacted to provide a response to Faith's, statement, but Screen Rant did not receive a reply. Now, guys, my big question here is why? If she actually pulled out a knife, and again, I'm not trying to get anybody fired, but if you pulled a knife on a cast member, 100% you shouldn't be on the show. I always say, listen, I try to play Switzerland here. I'm trying to play devil's advocate. Bullshit. No. You don't get to pull a knife on a cast member and then threaten them and saying that I'll cut a bitch. And then all of a sudden you get to keep your job, but then Faith is let go from the show. Even if Faith wasn't, I don't know why she was let go from the show. I don't know if it was because she didn't jive with everyone. I don't know if it was because, she hooked up with Jax Taylor. Maybe Brittany Cartwright said, I'm not filming if she's filming, so choose one of us. And they went with Brittany. I don't know what actually happened to lead Faith into her exit from the show. But what I do know if the network had to choose between two and one person is threatening the other person with a knife, I think it's a pretty obvious choice as to who should go, who should be fired. And if you're going to fire Kristen and Stassi for calling the police after seeing a tabloid article, which actually wasn't a tabloid article, if you saw the podcast, they were in a bar and they saw it on the news where there was a woman who they thought was Faith because they had similar hair and a similar jacket. So they decided to call the police. Turns out it wasn't Faith. Then they laughed about it on the Bitch Bible podcast. But if you're getting fired for that because that was absolutely ridiculous as well, then definitely if somebody is going to pull a knife, hey, it sounds like that person should also be fired from the show. But guys, I'm just here to kind of pick your brains and see what you think about this, because I know personally this really agitated me, just wondering why the network at all would even provide any kind of, hey, we'll protect you. We're going to make sure this doesn't get to air. Even if you made sure it doesn't get to air, because that would have been disturbing footage to see. And I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. But what I do want to know is if, God forbid, something like this happens, I think that Faith being employed by Bravo NBC, I think that she should be able to be like, hey, I felt uncomfortable. I was threatened. And I don't think that this person should be allowed to be on the show, especially if you're going to fire everybody else and do a complete cast overhaul. I mean, think about it. It was Stassi, Kristen, Brett, Max, Jax, Brittany. If they're all getting fired, I didn't hear about them attacking anybody with a knife. I mean, Stassi did punch Kristen in the face, but she didn't attack her with a knife. Guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and comment below with your unfiltered opinions, because I know you have them. But before you go, and of course, right now, this is all alleged. We haven't seen the footage. But before you go, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Love you.